Okay. Hello everyone. How are you all? I hope everyone doing well. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the heat, which is related for the 7th class students, and it is a very helpful for all the student, high school, PUC or any competitive exam. Let us see what are the components are come in the heat chapter. Okay, let's begin it. Look here, heat is also a source of energy. Mainly we get heat and light from the sun. Sun is the natural resources of heat and light here. Heat if we see the heat give us hotness, and the another word we see, the opposite word for the hot is cold here. In our day-to-day life, we come across a number of objects. We see the lot of the objects, okay? Lot of the objects we see in our day-to-day life. Some are having the physical properties, some having the chemical properties, and some having chemical properties. A lot of the subject or the objects we are going to see in our day-to-day life. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. For example, if we see here, heat is a hot object and ice is a cold object. Not only the tea, you can take as a coffee also, right? Coffee. You can take as a coffee is also hot object. Usually we identify them by touching. Means when we come to know whether the subject is the hot or a cold, when we touch the objects, when we feel the objects, then we come to know or we can identify the object whether they are the hot or the cold. Okay, but we can't always rely on our sense of a touch to decide whether an object is a hot or a cold. Sometimes it may be deceive us. It means in some situation we can't come to know that the whether the object are hot or a cold. Then how do we say that the object present in front of us is a hot or a cold? We reliably measure of a hotness of an object, it is the temperature. It means that we measure, right? Here we can see that we measure hotness or the hot in the term of a temperature. It means it is the unit where we measure the hotness. We can say that. Okay, temperature. We measure the hotness with the help of a temperature. If we see the measuring of a temperature or if we see the measuring of a hotness, temperature is measured by the device called the thermometer. Okay, see here, thermometer is the device we use to measure the temperature. It means it may be the body temperature, it may be the environmental temperature, it may be some other temperature. We use the thermometer to measure the hotness of an objects. We see there are the three type of thermometers. We see the three type of thermometers. One is the clinical thermometer, one is the laboratory thermometer, one is the digital thermometer. There is a spelling mistake here, thermometer. Okay, three type of thermometers we are going to see. Clinical thermometer. Let us see what is the clinical thermometer. Okay, This is the clinical thermometer which you see in front of your screen or on the screen. This is the clinical thermometer. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called clinical thermometer. It means the thermometer which used to measure the body temperature when we feel the fever. We go to the doctor. Okay, we go to the doctor. When he touch our body, he feels some hotness in our body, then he use the thermometer. Thermometer means you can see here in the object. This is the manual thermometer or the glass thermometer, right? Glass thermometer. This is the digital thermometer. This is the digital thermometer. When the doctor see the body is the hot, then he use the thermometer to measure the temperature of our body. He place the thermometer below our tongue or under our arms to measure the temperature of our body. When he will remove out, he going to read the measure. He will going to read the measurement on the thermometer. You can see here there are the measurement on the thermometer: 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. These are the readings. We can say that is these are the readings which are on the thermometer. Okay, a clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass. This is the glass. Long. Narrow means here we are going to see the. This is the narrow region. Right? This is the narrow region. It has a bulb in one end which consists of the mercury here. This is the bulb which having the mercury. Okay, here there is a mercury is a present. Mercury can be seen. This is known as the bulb. This is known as the constrictions, and this is known as the capillary tube. This is the capillary tube. There is a point here why we use the mercury in the thermometer. Why we are not going to use some other materials. Mercury is the very sensitive to the heat. When we supply the minimum heat to the mercury, it starts to expand. So we are going to use the mercury in the thermometer. Second one is the alcohol. Alcohol is also used in the thermometer. This is the chemical alcohol, not the drinking alcohol. This is the different alcohol which is used in the thermometer also. Okay, so because of the sensitivity of the mercury towards the heat, so we are going to use the mercury in the thermometer to measure the hotness of the body. When we place or when the doctor place the thermometer in under tongue, below the tongue or under arm, because of the body heatness, it start to increase in the capillary tube. It rises here. You can see it rises here. When it rises at a certain place, the mercury will stop the extending or mercury will stop the expanding. That is the temperature. Where the mercury stop the expanding, the number indicates that is the temperature of a body. If we measure our body, then our body's normal temperature is the 37 degrees Celsius. We can say 37. Okay, this is the clinical thermometer which is used in the clinics or in the hospitals to measure the temperature of the patient's body. This is the digital thermometer. Nowadays every doctor using the clinical thermometer, digital thermometer. This is the digital thermometer. Digital thermometer. Doctor using the but in the hospitals. Okay, this is the clinical thermometer. If we see the further point of this clinical thermometer, what are they? We can also see the scale. Just I saw the scale on the thermometer. Just I saw you everyone. That is the clinical thermometer. There is a scale here. That is the same explanation is we see. We can also see the scale on the thermometer. That scale we use in the Celsius. Remember, this is the very important point. Okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, where it is went. Sorry for the disturbance. There is a scale on the thermometer. Let us see here. Okay. Okay, see here, there is a scale in the thermometer, that is the 35, 36, 37, 38. That all are thermometer indicates in the degree Celsius. Okay, degree Celsius means it is the measuring unit. You can see here. This is the Celsius. Celsius is indicated by C naught. You can see here. This is the degree Celsius. And we measure the degree Celsius, not only in the degree Celsius, we measure the temperature in the form of Fahrenheit also. Fahrenheit. Right? We measure the temperature in the Kelvin also. Okay? Remember that. Not only we are going to measure in the degree Celsius, we measure the temperature or the hotness of an object in the Fahrenheit as well as in the Kelvin. Both these are the scales, or these are the SI unit of a temperature we use in the measurements. Okay. The clink is the mercury level from the falling on it own. It means I just shown you before that in the thermometer. Imagine that this is the thermometer. When we place the thermometer in the underarm, the temperature, it means the mercury start to expand in the scale. Where the scale stop or the mercury stop, that the number indicates the temperature. The clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of the human body only. The clinical thermometer only used in the hospitals to measure the temperature of the body. Here the temperature of the human body is below, it means that the temperature of the human body does not go below 35 degrees Celsius, not above 42 degrees Celsius. It means the body temperature lies between 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Between 35 to 42, the temperature of the human body. It may be the 36, it may be the 37, it may be 38, it may be the 39. It means whatever it may be, it is between the 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. That is the reason that the thermometer has the range of 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. If we see the thermometer, that the scale on the thermometer lies between 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. If it having the Fahrenheit, there is another scale. If it having the Kelvin, then it is having the different scale on the thermometer. Okay. Let us see how to use the clinical thermometer. What are the procedures? What is the procedure to use the clinical thermometer? How the doctors or the normal person or we can use the thermometer? Wash the thermometer means, first of all, we have to wash the thermometer properly with an antiseptic solution. You can use the Sabilon, you can use the dilute Dettol to wash the thermometer. Hold the firmly and give it with the frings. The frings will bring the level of mercury down. Ensure that it falls below 35 degrees Celsius. It means come to the 0 degree Celsius. 0 degree Celsius. Imagine that this is the thermometer. Thermometer, we have to hold it and we have to wash this bulb, with the antiseptic, and we have to shake it like this. Why? Because the mercury comes below the 35 degrees Celsius. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. This is the bulb. This is the bulb. You have to place this bulb under your tongue, below tongue, here. Or you can place this thermometer under our arm, like this. We are going to keep it, the thermometer, for a few minutes of time of the patient. After 1 minute, the thermometer out and note down the reading. After a minute, we have to take out the thermometer and we have to see the measurement where the mercury is stopped. This is our thermometer, this is our temperature. Imagine that if a patient having the body temperature of 38 degrees Celsius, this is the reading of the body here. The thermometer should also be stated with the units. Units means that is the small scale present on the thermometers. The normal temperature of the human body is 37 degrees Celsius. I told you that before only. The normal temperature of a human body is 37 degree Celsius. This is the procedure how we are going to use the thermometer in our home. Okay. Next, precautions. What precautions we have to take before using the thermometer? Before using the thermometer. Thermometer should be washed before using and after using, preferably with an antiseptic solution. We have to wash the thermometer every time, before using and after using. Ensure that the mercury level is below 35 degrees Celsius. Before using, we have to ensure, we have to see the temperature in the thermometer, it must be below 35 degrees Celsius. Second, read the thermometer keeping the level mercury along the line of a stand. We have to observe the level of a mercury when we are going to place it under arm or below the tongue of the patient. Handle the thermometer with carefully. Why? Because these are the very sensitive. If you touch on the bulb, it start to expand. So we have to handle it carefully. And if it is hit against some hard object, it can be break. When you are going to shake, if it is strict to the table or any hard object, then it will going to break. Okay. Don't hold the thermometer by the bulb. If it is a bulb, you can't hold here. We have to hold another end of the thermometer. Okay. This is the precaution we have to see. Second one is the what is that? Laboratory thermometer. Okay. Laboratory thermometer. The range of the laboratory thermometer is -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. The range of the laboratory thermometer lies between -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Minus means when the temperature falls below. Right? In the winter season, we see the temperature below 0 degrees Celsius in the Arctic, -10, -20, -32 degrees Celsius, like this. Right? It is used in the laboratory to measure the temperature of with higher accuracy. We are going to use this thermometer in the laboratory, where it is used in the chemical laboratory. Chemical laboratory. It is used in the physical laboratory. It is used in the bio laboratories, and it is used in the some other field also. Okay, this is the laboratory. It is used in the chemistry lab. It is used in the physical lab. It is used in the bio lab. Why? Because we have to measure the temperature of a rooms. We going to use the measure the temperature of a room. We are going to say that is the room temperature. Remember that. This is the laboratory thermometer on your screen. This is also same, but with a different measurings. Right? This is the bulb. This is the mercury. This is the capillary tube. We can it called as a stem also. There is the reading is the different. In the clinical thermometer, it starts from the 35 degrees Celsius. Here in the laboratory, it starts from the minus 10 degrees Celsius. Minus 10 degree Celsius. It ends to 110 degree Celsius. Okay, this is the laboratory thermometer. What are the precautions to be used while using the laboratory thermometer? In addition to the precaution needed while the reading a clinical thermometer, that laboratory thermometer should kept upright, not tilted. Upright means we are going to place here like this, right? We are going to place it like this is the upright. The bulb should be surrounded from all sides by the substances of which the temperature should be measured. If you are going to measure the temperature of some liquid, if imagine that, or just we are going to see the example. If you are going to use the temperature of some liquids, or we are going to take as a water only, okay, water, while we are heating the water to the bath. At the morning we take the bath, we heat the water. If you want to measure the hotness of this water, we are going to place the thermometer like this, straightly under water. Okay, this is the thermometer. We have to keep it like this. Why? Because the water totally have to surround the thermometer. That should not touch the surface of the container, but the thermometer bulb is here, it should not touch the container's surface. These precautions we have to take. One is we have to keep upright position, with the bulb must be surrounded by from every side, and the bulb of that thermometer should not touch the surface of the container. These are only the three main precautions we have to take while using the laboratory thermometer. Let us see the transfer of a heat. How the heat transfer from one place to the another place, from one end to the another end. Okay, one point I have missed here, that is the difference between the heat and the temperature. Okay, look here. First one is the conduction, convection and radiation. By these three types, the heat transfer from one place to the another place. Okay, let us see one by one here. The three types are the conduction, convection and radiations. First, these are the 3 points. Look here on your screen. On your screen, conduction. By this image, you can come to know that what is the conduction and the convection and the radiations. Okay, let us see one by one. This is the conduction. The process by which the heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end. This is the process, the heat transfer from hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as the condension. This is the definition. We can note down this. The process from which heat transfer from one end to the another end, that is known as the condension. In the solid, generally the heat is transferred by the process of a condension. In the solid, for example, we can conduct here activities. Take a candle with burning candle and hold a steel rod on the flame here. This is the flame. After few minutes, you feel the hotness at your fingers. Here you feel the hotness. Why? Because when the another end of this steel rod, this is the steel rod, okay? Steel rod. When the steel rod is heated from one end, slowly the heat start to transfer from one end to the another end. Why? Because the particles present in this steel rod start to transfer heat to its neighboring particle. This process takes continuously until the heat reaches to the another end of that rod. This is the process of a transferring of a heat in the solid. This process is known as the condension process. Okay, I hope you people will understood this. While you are going to cook the food in your homes, you feel hotness in the vessels. Why? Because the heat is transferred by this process in the vessels. Okay. Next one. If heat or electricity have to transfer from one end to the another end, means the object must have some properties. Or the objects are known as conductors and insulators. Okay. Conductor means the material. This is the first point I am going to discuss with you. Conductor means the material which allow the heat passes through them easily from one end to the another end is known as a conductor. Look here. If I heat this end of this pen, the heat transfer from this end to this end. If this pen allows the heat to transfer from one end to the another end, then this is known as the conductor. It means, for example, we take it as a aluminium. In the aluminium, heat transfer. In the iron rod, heat transfer. In the copper wire, the heat is transferred from one end to the another end. Look here, this is the iron rod. If I heat this area or this end of this rod, then heat transfer to the another end here at this end. It means the object which allow the heat to pass through them are known as the conductors. Okay, this is the conductor. For example, you can take as aluminium, iron, copper, steel. Okay. Second one is the insulator. Insulator. The material which does not allow the heat to pass through them easily are the poor conductor or known as the insulator. This pen is the insulator. Why? Because heat can't transfer from one end to the another end. This is the water bottle, is the insulator. The heat can't transfer from one end to the another end. Okay. These are the insulator. You can take the plastic bottles, you can take the wood, you can take the rubber, you can take some other materials like this. Right? These are the substances are known as the insulator. Why? Because they can't allow or they don't allow the heat transfer from one end to the another end. There are the two type of materials we are going to see in our day-to-day life. Some materials are the conductors and some materials are the insulator. You can list out the conductors and insulators. Next point or the second process is known as the convection. Okay, convection is also the another phenomena by which the heat transfer from one region to the another region. The transfer of a heat, look here, the transfer of a heat by the movement of an fluid or the liquid or gases between the area of the different temperature. Look here, the transfer of a heat by movement of a fluid or a liquid or a gas between the area of a different temperature. Just imagine that we can see this picture. Look here, there is a vessel containing the water. Okay, when we heat this water, it start to boil or it start to get heat. Okay, we are going to water is cool, become more dense, sink, or the convection current. When we heat this water or when we pass the hotness to this water, slowly the heated water comes upright like this. Slowly it will come up, and the cold water slowly goes down below the hot water. Okay, below the hot water, and slowly we see some steams, vapors, steam vapors coming out from the vessels. This is known as the convection process. This is known as the movement of the water from one region to the another region. When you heat the water in the vessels in your home, clearly observe that slowly the water start to rotate. The upper water start to move down slowly. The below water comes up slowly. Okay, this is known as the convection. Next one is the radiation. This is the very familiar to everyone. Why? Because of this radiation only still we are here on the surface of the earth. This is also the phenomena. It is having also the phenomena or the process. It is the transfer of a heat which does not require any medium. For example, look here, from the sun heat comes to us by the radiation. Look here, I will going to explain this. Okay, look here, the sun. This is the sun and this is the earth. Okay, earth. When sun release its heat or the rays towards the earth, it will reach to earth at 8.5 minutes. It take the time to reach the earth, right? Near about 8 minutes it will take to reach the earth, right? And in between the sun and the earth there is no medium present. Totally this region is a vacuum. There is no gas, there is no carbon dioxide, there is no oxygen, there is no nitrogen, nothing is there. This is the totally vacuum. Vacuum means totally empty region. Even though the sunlight reach to earth, from the sun to earth, it means the radiation can travel without medium. This is known as the radiation. I hope you people understood this. Radiation. Okay, and a hotness until kept away from the flame and cool down. Look here, in the winter season we are going to use the fire to heat our body, but we are not going to touch the fire. Just we sit beside the firing wood or the burning wood. Just the radiation come and reach our body get heat. In the winter season we use this process. While you are cooking the food in the kitchen, you feel heat when you are come near to the gas or the stoves or to the some other cooking versions. This is known as the radiation. It means it is the transfer of a heat from one region to the another region, from one area to the another area without any medium. This is known as the radiation. This is known as the radiation. Okay. Thank you for watching my class. I hope you people are understood every point of this class. And there is I did a mistake here. One is that I didn't brought the difference between the temperature and the heat. Heat is the source of energy, we can say that, and the temperature is the measuring unit or the measuring device to measure the heat. Temperature is the measured in the degree Celsius, Kelvin and the Fahrenheit. Okay, these are the 2-3 differences. And thank you for watching my class, and please like, subscribe and share with your friends and ask them to join our family to get more knowledge about this classes. Okay, I am going to conduct the classes from 6th class to 10th class, and not only my classes are not only the restricted for the high school student. Any person can get the knowledge from here. Why? Because everyone today's competitive life, we are facing the lot of the competitive exam. You can get the lot of the knowledge from here. Thank you very much everyone. Okay.